I'm Harrington Ben for Total Team Control. Previously, we talked about the offensive side of the football. Today, we're going to move to the defensive side of the ball. And we're going to talk about the defensive line, as well as the linebackers. As the defense that we have selected to face the West Coast offense is the 4-2-5. We're going to use the 4-2-5, which is a nickel package, as our base defense to combat the short passing game and ball control offense of the West Coast offense. Where we want to start with the defensive line in this 4-2-5 is the first thing you have to talk about with the defensive line in any form of football is gap discipline. Failure to maintain gap discipline results in touchdowns for the offense. The C gap, the B gap, strong A, weak A, weak B, the C. There are many features of the 4-2-5 defense that work well against the West Coast offense. As we stated before, the key indicator of a West Coast offense will be the close proximity of the receivers to the box area, allowing short passes from the quarterback, 3-step drops, and quick passes. Get the football out of his hands and to frustrate the defensive line. They can't get a sack on the quarterback. He's getting the ball out too quick. A weakness of the West Coast offense is being forced to throw the football out to the numbers on the far side, on either side of the formation. This is a longer throw and not a throw that West Coast offenses want to make. Most West Coast offense quarterbacks are very accurate, but they don't have the strong arm. It's a difficult throw for them to get the football here. That can be an interception. They want to get the football here and get it out quickly. They move their receivers in toward the box area to shorten the distance of the throws. West Coast offense is a perfect offense to get a quarterback in rhythm. It's a perfect offense for a quarterback like Geno Smith. Safe passes, get the football out, not facing a lot of pressure, control the ball with short passes. The key feature of the 4-2-5 is as young quarterbacks are taught to assess the defense and select one side of the field This would be your play scenario for Geno Smith. The offensive coordinators are asking Geno to assess the defense, select one side of the field to work. Here, this would be Geno's primary read, his first read, as he selects the right side of the field to attack. The blue marker would be his secondary read, and the red will be his hot. If Geno were to assess the defense and select the left side of the field, he would have a primary read to this side, working back toward himself. The secondary read would be the blue again, and he would work a hot read on the left side of the field, limiting the damage that could possibly come from a young quarterback. You give that quarterback one side of the field to read, to simplify his reads, and not have to take his eyes across the football field. This prevents throwing the football across your body. Unless you're chased out to here, you come back and throw here. But also, defensively, the 4-2-5 is the perfect defense for that type of a West Coast offense that reads one side of the field, because with the 4-2-5, you simply slice it right down the middle like you're slicing a cake. This side of the 4-2-5 defense operates independently from this side of the 4-2-5. This Mike backer makes the calls for the left side, and this Mike backer makes the calls to the right side. This side may be in zone. This side may be in man. The 4-2-5 is the perfect defense to battle the West Coast offense. You're going to see it on Inside Electric Football. Let's take a closer look at some things likely to go on this line of scrimmage. On previous videos, we've talked extensively about offensive line blocking schemes. Man blocking, zone blocking. We've talked about the offensive line. Now as we move to the defensive line, calls are being made along the defensive front as well. This particular call, coming from the Mike backer, assessing the defensive backfield and the down and distance, assuming that the football could possibly come here through the 2. The Mike backer calls slant, strong right. Slant, strong right. To his defensive lineman. Slant, strong right. The right defensive tackle is going to enter into the strong A. Also on that call, the right defensive end is going to maintain in the C. If he were over the head of the tackle, he would come here to the B, to the strong B. Since he's not, he's going to stay in his gap. This Mike backer will Frank is also going to call slant, weak, right. And what that means is the right defensive tackle is going to go into the B, the weak B. These calls only pertain to players inside the box area. This defensive lineman will not jump here. He will maintain his gap. If he were over the head of the tackle, he would come here. He sets the edge and maintains contain. Let's watch the play of the nose of the defensive tackles as they get into those gaps. Hut, hut, hut. And there are the defensive tackles getting into the gaps. Left tackle into the strong A, right tackle into the weak B. Let's take a quick look at why this is such a dangerous strategy for defensive linemen to play games with their gap responsibilities. The 4-2-5, the weakness is up the gut, and when you play games up front and gap discipline responsibilities, this play by the center to come here into a double team onto that right defensive tackle changes the fortunes of this play entirely. Watch the play of the center and what it does to the slants. Hut, hut, hut. As our back failed to choose the right hole, obviously a giant hole was opened up. That's what happens when you gamble with gap responsibility. Hey, this is Total Team Control. I'm Harrington. See you next time.